Alright, right now we're going to look at intervals increasing and decreasing. What kind of slope would an increasing function have? Well, it would have a positive slope. What would that look like? Well, one way it would look is just a positive sloping line. Linear, like y equals x would be a positive sloping line. What kind of slope would a decreasing function have? So it'd have a negative slope. And notice I'm just saying from left to right, and that's both of them are from left to right, going down like y equals negative x. Alright? Now, and you also always look at those from the x values, from left to right. And you know left to right is talking about x values. Alright, now maximum value is the highest y value on the graph. So this is talking about y values. Minimum is the lowest y value on the graph. Alright. Now, stats for interval increasing and decreasing. Look at the graph from left to right. Again, you're looking at it from your left to right. Your x values talk about plotting your x intervals. Now you're looking at your graph and seeing how it's moving there too. So your y values come into play, but you're labeling your x values. Any part that is rising from left to right is increasing. Any part that is falling from left to right is decreasing. Write the interval using interval notation. Determine what x value the interval starts at and what x value the interval ends at. And that's how you set up your interval notation. Determine the intervals of the maximum, minimum, the intervals and the maximum and minimum, so are increasing. So we look right here, we notice that at -5 to -2 here, it is increasing. So we see our graph is going up. We see our positive slope there. So from -5 to -2, we have an increasing interval. Notice we labeled our x values. Alright, and then we also look right here from 1 to positive infinity. And remember, we label our graph with this positive infinity here. Notice our lines keep going. So therefore, from 1 to positive infinity is also an increasing interval. Alright. Now, decreasing intervals. Notice right here from -2, -2, down to +1. Our graph is decreasing. It is going down. So there's our decreasing interval, or a decreasing interval. Our maximum y value. Alright. We don't have a maximum y value here. So none. Now you may also see somebody write infinity there as well. But there's no maximum value, so we know that it is infinity, but there's really no maximum value there because it's going to keep going. Alright, our minimum value, we do have a point down here. Our lowest y value is at -4. So our minimum value here is -4. Alright, next part says draw a function that meets the following criteria. Increase from -3 to 1, and there's two functions over here that represent this. Just kind of give you two examples. So we're going to have an increase from -3 to 1. You notice both of these graphs are going up from -3 to 1. Alright. Also, decreasing from 1 to 2. Notice both of these graphs from 1 to 2. So we see both of these graphs from 1 to 2. You can see it's decreasing and decreasing. Alright, and it says a maximum value of y equals 4. Alright, so we see our maximum value here. We got one that stops at y equals 4, another one stops at y equals 4. So our maximum y value here, our maximum value, because it's talking about y's anyways, is y equals 4. And both our graphs, maximum y value is y equals 4. And then we also notice that our maximum my minimum x value has to be negative 6. Notice both of our graphs stop at y equals negative 6. So both of these graphs meet this criteria. Alright, next part. Another example, interval. So we have an increasing interval here. Alright. From our x value, we start from 0, and the line's going to keep going here. So our graph is increasing from 0 to negative infinity. That is our interval of our graph. It's an increasing interval. Now decreasing, our graph does not decrease, so therefore there is no decreasing interval, or none. Our maximum. There is no maximum because our line keeps going on forever and ever and ever. Now our minimum, we have at 5, y equals 5, because our graph stops on the y-axis at y equals 5. Next one, notice our line's going up. So our line's going up from left to right here. So we have an increase of negative infinity to positive infinity. From left to right, it's increasing from negative infinity to positive infinity. Alright, now decreasing. Notice that our graph is not decreasing, it is going up. So therefore, we don't have any decreasing intervals, so our graph is increasing. Maximum. We have an asymptote here, and you can see it. Our asymptote is y equals negative 2. You can see it crossing at negative 2, so our maximum is y equals negative 2. Alright. Minimum, the line goes on forever, so therefore there is no minimum, or none. Alright. Next one. Increasing. This is a negative sloping line. It's going down from left to right. Therefore, there's not increasing. Now it is decreasing from negative infinity on our x values to positive infinity. There is no maximum because it's going up on our y forever and ever and ever. And there's no minimum because it's going down forever and ever and ever. So these are our intervals and our minimum and maximums.